Hey, how's it going, everyone? Thanks for coming out. I want to introduce myself. I'm Tyler Boronski, moderating this panel. Super happy to moderate this panel and finding out what the topic was from Mary, Beat the Burnout, how creators deal with creator burnout. Super relevant topic and important topic. So I'm happy we get to talk about that today. I run a YouTube channel where I sit down and interview celebrities. Also worked on a couple television shows, Atlanta on FX, season 2, and right now the upcoming 3rd season of Netflix's Stranger Things. So that's a little bit about me, and we got 5 amazing panelists, and they'll introduce themselves and their YouTube channel. Again, I'm just happy that there's an event like Play This Live where we get to do these type of panels and talk about topics like this, and really just take 3 days to talk about something we're all passionate about in this room, and that's social media and creating, and talk about a topic like this that I said is relevant. I want to open up the floor to you guys first for this first question. Anyone that wants to answer. It's not like burnout is a new concept, and we've seen like bigger creators now talk about it more, like Elle Mills, if you guys follow her. She's talked about her struggles with burnout. Why do you think it's a more open topic now to talk about people's burnout? Most definitely. Vlogger, I want to go to you for a second because I want to elaborate on your point, because you talked about taking a break for a creator and how you think it's, maybe you don't need to make a video. A tweet's good enough.
I take a break all the time. I'm on a break right now.
We all are, right?
Yeah.
Next 3 days we're all on break, but
yeah.
Can you elaborate on maybe pros and cons you feel with taking a break as a creator, and then the other panelists can build from that as well?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think something interesting with the idea of taking a break, it almost relates to the question that's always asked about work-life balance, right? Like, how do you balance work-life balance? Take my man Jay here, for example, a guy that uploads every day. I was talking to him like before this panel started, and I can tell he's a passionate creator, and that's just what he likes to do in his free time. Like, he likes creating. So some people might think, oh, posting every day, like I'd be burnt out in a second, but that's what he likes doing. That's what makes him happy. So he's self-aware about that. And I think that's something you got to realize too. You know yourself the best. No one knows you better than you. What can you handle? What can you do? So just kind of elaborate on that for you guys. Maybe Luann, you can start. But how important is self-awareness in the creative game? I love it. We've talked a lot about how to avoid the burnout during the creative process, but is there anything you could do maybe, I guess, outside the creative process to avoid the burnout? Because this might sound like an obvious answer, but I think people really underestimate the power of sleep. Like, sleep is going to win every single day. You don't got to be like the hustler, in my opinion, that I only sleep 4 hours a day because I was working all day. I was like, no, like, you need those 7 or 8 hours, or you're going to be dead exhausted the next day, and, that process. So, I don't know, anything you can do outside, like prepare yourself to avoid that burnout before getting into your creative space. And one thing I just wanted to that real quick, something I do is I like to make kind of small goals for yourself and things to check off. Like, I'm a big believer in that. Just give yourself little self-rewards to help keep yourself motivated, because things do pile up and everyone's got a life. None of us are at a point like you say you guys work, you have school, whatever. No one here right now does YouTube or social media full time. So there's a lot of things you got to do on the agenda. So giving yourself those little self rewards, I think, is always a good thing. Vlogger, I just want to ask you a question. It's kind of off topic, but you are doing a Twitch stream right now. Anything you've seen different between doing your YouTube work and now doing Twitch? Anything you've seen in those two spaces? How?
Yes.
That process has
and
been.
My Twitch.
And I want to ask you specifically about your work and your channel, because you mentioned in the beginning you do a lot of comedy videos. Can you speak about, because there's a lot of preparation for that, shooting the video, editing. For you specifically, what's the hardest process, or what comes easy to you? I want to know a little bit more about your process.
Okay.
I know for me, editing is definitely the hardest challenge for me. Something I'm trying to get better at. I was definitely an iMovie person like a year ago. Now I know how to use Premiere Pro, so it's getting better. But right now, like, we all wear all the hats, right? You're the content creator, you're thinking of the ideas, you're the editor, you're marketing yourself. It's a challenge for sure. Mikhail, I want to ask you at the end over there. We all struggle with maybe not seeing success right away. That's something any small creator deals with. How have you handled, or seen other people handle maybe not seeing success? I want to follow up on that, because I think I've listened to a lot of these panels throughout a couple of years doing these Play This Lives, and people do talk about try not to look at the numbers, try not. How difficult is it though, and easier said than done, right? Kelsey, I want to ask you, you talked about earlier that sometimes before maybe creating a video, you'll take your phone away. You won't look at your phone for a little bit. Has anyone here, maybe Kelsey you can start, but anyone here on this panel done like a full social media cleanse? Like no YouTube, no Instagram, no Twitter, nothing for like a day, 2 days, a week? I've seen like YouTube videos of people like, maybe it's like a challenge or trend, but like people like go without a week without looking at social media, and then they'll document what that's been like for them. Too addicted to. I don't think I can do it intentional. Yeah, to be honest here. Yeah. I've only done unintentional breaks like you guys, but yeah, can't do intentional. Sorry, not doing that. I want to open up the floor to you guys. If you have any questions, take the time and for our wonderful panelists that are here. But if anyone has any questions, whether it's burnout related or YouTube, social media related, anything, I'm happy to answer. So let me add to your question earlier with the marketing. I do really like what Nikayla said earlier with the business cards, because what business cards do, I don't think business cards are dead. You see a lot of our panels have their business cards out. Business cards are tangible, right? So if we give you our business card, sometime later today, or when you go back to the hotel later tonight, you're gonna pull it out of your pocket, right? You're gonna see the person's face, you're gonna see their socials again, and you'll definitely remember who that person is. So that's why I always think business cards are really good, no matter how big or small you are, to keep that network, because at the end of the day, we're all trying to network, we're all trying to grow a little bigger, right? And then another thing I would say when marketing, or how to keep growing like traction, pretty much, is like collabs, but like, I hate the word collab so much. Luckily what I do, since my YouTube channel is all about, I work with a lot of like celebrities and stuff, so athletes, actors, here at this event with the big YouTubers, I kind of approach it, as an interview, and you can approach it still, even if you're not a quote-unquote professional journalist or reporter, you can still collab in a way where you treat it like an interview. Then you're kind of more of a professional sense, and they'd be more willing to collab with you, because essentially it is a collab, because you're kind of bringing value to them and you're helping them look good, and it's just a win-win situation. So really they're helping you out, and it is a collab for you, and they'll help you get traction by being associated with that bigger name, but you kind of do it in a professional sense by treating it as an interview. And you can post that interview anywhere, YouTube, podcast if you want to do audio format, quick Instagram, 60-second, 2-question answers, stuff like that. So I think that's a couple ways you can keep, marketing yourself. And Jay talked about it, and vlogger, still having that good personal brand. You got to develop your personal brand first, and then, once people do start seeing you and they know you're putting out good work, you keep growing. And people will know you in the community that you put out good stuff, and more people will find your stuff and hopefully continue to follow your work. That's such a good question. It's a good point, though.
Any of you want to join on that?
Yeah. I actually want to say something real quick, because I know for my interviews, when I promote a new interview, I'll take 15 seconds, of a good part from the interview, but you do have to treat it differently each platform. Instagram, I literally have to resize it on Premiere Pro to make it an Instagram story size to post that, make a new whole sequence size for Twitter, adjust it a little bit for Facebook. So it is, and then I look at my desktop and I'm like, my iCloud's full, because I just made 4 or 5 different pieces of content, the same clip, and they all look a little different. But that's what you gotta do. You can't just give people the same content, refurbished stuff. So good question, man. I like that. I think that's a good point. I have a friend, his name's Sean Chandler. He makes movie reviews on YouTube. He's doing pretty well right now. Just recently, 2 days ago, he finally became a full-time YouTuber. He was delivering paint before. He's delivering paint during the day, and then at night making movie reviews and TV reviews. Finally got to a point with his channel, now he can be full-time, and I know he's doubling down and almost tripling down on his content, and he's never been happier. So it might be subjective, but in that case,
it's just fun to think about.
It is fun.
I think, and that's why.
Guys, we have to cut it off for today, but great insight from our panelists. Can we give them a quick round of applause? We appreciate you guys coming out. We're going to be hanging out for a little bit afterwards. Please come say hello, grab a business card, they're all going to be really big, you know. Maybe we talked about in the last panel, if you guys were here, you know, some of us maybe just have a few thousand subscribers right now, but people that have done this panel before are 500,000 subscribers, you know, a year or two later, so keep an eye out for these guys. So thank you guys.